For a football fanatic like me, the problem with the World Cup is that thousands of people who take no interest in football for the previous 4 years suddenly become experts and insist on talking about it. For a whole month, these new fair-weather fans, who are disproportionately, but not exclusively female, insist on telling those of us who love the game what is happening, who is playing well, who fouled who, and who is offside, without having any knowledge of the game at all. To be polite and to make sure that they don't grab the remote control and turn off the match, we are supposed to listen to their views and encourage them. Enough is enough. The time has come in every pub and in every house for there to be one telly set aside for the real fans in one room and another for these Johnny-come-latelys to football in a different room. Then us real fans can go back to enjoying football in peace.
I just need to take a minute for my temperature to come down, Greg, because you really had to go there, didn't you? I wonder if that was you specifically dropped that most of them are women thing just to extra wind me up. Greg, as the former chair of the FA,
yes,
what is the point of global football events like the World Cup? What is the actual point?
Oh, the actual point is a competition between nations.
And who is meant to be engaged by that competition?
Yeah, everybody.
Oh, really?
Listen, I'm not saying...
And is my gender included in this?
No, it's nothing to do with gender.
Oh, really? Because I swear I heard you say
no, it's nothing to do with
that it was especially women who were
No, I
these
said it's
so-called
disproportionately women, but it's certainly not only women. And also there are an awful lot of women who do know a lot about football.
And women's football is escalating in popularity.
It is. It is going up, certainly in this country, where the FA are doing a really good job in encouraging women's
on women's
football,
I would like to point out that our women's team in England are ranked second in the world.
Yes, sure.
And they reached the semi-finals of the European Championship, and they do so under incredibly difficult conditions compared to our pampered
And I'd be very happy to watch all sorts of games with those people because they love football, they care about it. All I'm talking about is this strange group of people who don't care.
Strange.
Who don't care.
Shh. No.
Do you know
how snotty and arrogant you sound in saying this? You know, this is a bunch of blokes kicking a ball around, for God's sake. It's not rocket science. But we sit round this table every week and we're not experts and we talk about stuff. And all you're saying is
some of
that's
us
all
try to understand it better than others.
Well, yeah, and I understand it perfectly. What I understand about you is you're saying women shouldn't have any right to talk about football.
No,
and only people like yourself who understand
it doesn't
this
say that at all.
game.
It says there are some people who love football and it's their life. And there are others...
Can we look at this?
Is it your life?
It's a big bit of my life.
Can I just take a positive slant on this? Yeah. The fact is, when the World Cup takes place, it's really good for
beer.
the whole world.
It
is good for beer. It is good for beer. I know that. I declare my interest. It's great for beer. But it is also very good for the economy in general. But it's also great globally. I mean, look at a billion people will watch the final. In this country, the excitement, the economic benefit, and also you need these extra people, by the way, because there aren't... but there aren't enough presenters. There aren't enough presenters. You have to bring in other people.
Let me just show you
to cope with the popularity.
And
one more thing, the royal family, the wedding, such a popular event. Yeah. Huge success. More people watch the opening England match, almost 20 million people.
18.3 million,
which is phenomenal.
I have
almost 20 million.
Of the viewing public.
I have absolutely no problem with everybody watching it. All I'm saying is... All I'm saying is there are some of us who would quite like to watch it without being interrupted by people who don't know anything about it.
Greg, I wonder if I could just get in, because I often like to look at back copies of the pledge and remind myself of certain things that were said. I wonder if we could go back to June 2016, Greg, when you said this.
We didn't have a bad squad. We had quite a good squad. We went out there. We played OK. We should in the first 3 games, and then we were terrible in the fourth. And I think everybody knows that. I mean, from behalf of the FA, I just say I'm sorry. You know.
So you accept you're no expert, and now you're deciding that you shouldn't be allowed to watch the games.
Pick the team. Now, all I'm saying is that
you've got to be in the wrong room.
There are some people who care passionately about football and who go every week, and you can see something. Here, just take a look at this. This was in Leeds. This was on the night of the first England game.
Yes.
Now, if you look at that, that's a bunch of people who clearly love the game. It's they've paid to get in there. It's part of their lives, and that's an important thing. All I'm saying is, some of us don't want to. I don't want to. I mean, for instance, someone suggested to me when I was at the BBC that actually they should have a different feed for people, totally different television feed for people who weren't really interested in the football, just wanted to watch the men run around.
But Karen, indulge me for 5 seconds. Indulge me for 5 seconds. Just indulge, because you are strictly looking at those fans. Can I please take you to Plymouth with some England fans?
My God.
Again, no. Let's look at...
And there he goes. And those are real fans. And that's Big Phil Campion.
No.
He was just... That's Phil celebrating.
Again, let's look at the positive aspect.
Yes.
The English Premier League is one of Britain's greatest elements of soft power. I mean, the popularity around the world. If you look at a team, look at a team, the big teams, Manchester United, Chelsea's, the supporters they have around the world. You're talking about millions of supporters around the world. Asia Pacific, for example, half the supporters are based over there. So this is great for Britain. This is great for our soft power.
Can I make a serious point
I think it's
as
fantastic.
well? There is a serious side to this, Greg.
Yes,
there is a serious side to this. I'm not really one to buy into these arguments that if you have women in the room, then things are much more conciliatory. But if you want an example of what happens when you get a group of men together and let them run something, FIFA is the perfect storm.
Yes.
Corruption,
To the core.
corrupt bids. Slave labour in constructing
I should tell you,
World
the
Cup
former
venues,
chief...
the sex trade
No,
rocketing.
I agree that. I should
World
tell you, the
Cups
former
country.
chief...
If women were more involved in football, it would be
Why have you come dressed as Bobby Moore? No, I have a legal intervention, which has to be the most bizarre that I've ever had to tell you. We have to urge fans not to do that at home. We've just seen... So there's my fun gone on Saturday.
Mine is quite I thought this week I'd do a bit of trivial. I'm glad I can still wind you up with something that's so trivial. All I'm saying is I'd like to be able to watch football. I'd like to be able to watch the game with people who care about the game.
Who's stopping you from doing that?
I'm not.
And it's not trivial. And you know
it's just
what?
a part of a debate. That's what we do every week, isn't it?
There are female sports commentators and journalists who still get treated terribly because of those kind of stereotypes.
I think that's changed. I think that's changed massively.
You should spend some time
I tell you where Raf was right.
them.
The BBC had its first ever female commentary of a World Cup game this week.
Yes.
And some of the... I did this on the show today.
Unbelievable.
Some of the reactions... I mean, really... ugly.
I give you Exhibit A. These kind of ideas.
No, you're taking
no right to comment.
All I'm saying is there are some people who follow football the whole time, really enjoy it, and there are others who come in and out. And I'd rather watch football with the ones who love it and follow it.
To make a not so serious point, the fact it's splattered all over our TV screens all day long means that none of us have much else to talk about. Of course, you're going to have an opinion on something that takes over all of your living room.
I could solve that with you, Carol. Brexit. There we go.
But Carol, that's why I'm suggesting you get a second set in the other room, and then you can watch what you like.
The most important thing is England has to do well. If they do well, that'll be great.
Always the case. If England do well, then we all feel good. Harold Wilson still believes, or believed until the time he died, that he lost the 1970 election because England had got knocked out of the World Cup on the Sunday.